what do you understand by cryptography?
Okay, so we encrypt our sensitive data to make it unreadable to other people.
Yeah, exactly. So we are protecting the data by encrypting or by converting the data into any other form, which the reader can or the owner can only understand or decrypt. Otherwise, any non-intended person cannot understand it. So in the
Yeah,
cryptography is like a whole concept. Inside cryptography, we have encryption and decryption.
yeah,
So encryption is like encryption is like a process of converting the data, or we can say the plain text, into the cipher text. That is known as encryption. So
yeah.
basically, it is a process of mainly converting plain text into cipher text.
Yeah.
Then we have decryption. Decryption is like converting the cipher text back into the plain text. That is like reverse of encryption. And what is cipher text? Cipher text is anything which cannot be understood by the attacker or any other user. Like it is like a combination of alphabets and numerics, or we get some special characters. It can be any in any form. But we are converting the plain text into cipher text. That is encryption, and decryption is like converting the cipher text back into the plain text. That is like simply the encryption and decryption. So after encryption and decryption, we have symmetric and asymmetric algorithms. We can say algorithms, we can say symmetric and asymmetric cryptographic mechanism, we can say symmetric keys or asymmetric keys. So
Okay.
basically, symmetric algorithms are like the algorithm, or we can say the mechanism where the sender and the receiver uses the same key for encryption and decryption. That is very
Oh, okay.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Basically, let's say we have the sender and then we have the receiver. So sender and receiver, they uses the same key for encryption and same key for decryption. That
Okay.
is symmetric algorithm, or we can say cryptographic mechanism. Then we have asymmetric. The asymmetric sender and receiver uses the different keys for encryption as well as for decryption. So we have the sender, and with the sender, we have two keys, private key and public key.
Okay.
Let me
Yeah.
draw.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the sender here, and then we have the receiver. So
Mm-hmm.
the sender have the private key and public key. Same as the receiver, private key and public key. They both
Yeah.
have the private key, like public key. This is in case of asymmetric encryption. So let's
Mm-hmm.
say the sender is sending any kind of message or anything. So the sender will encrypt this message with the help of receiver's public key, because
Okay.
this receiver's public key is public to everyone. Anyone can see this public key. So whenever the
Okay.
sender wanted to send any message, the sender will encrypt the message with the receiver's public key.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have this, let's say the sender is sending the message to the receiver. At the receiver end, the receiver will decrypt this particular message with the help of its own private key. So basically, the receiver can only decrypt the message with its own private key, not with any other key. So that is why asymmetric encryption is more secure than the symmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption is faster than asymmetric, but it is less secure because in the symmetric, we are using the same key for the encryption
Okay.
and for the decryption. So basically, before sending the message, we have to transfer the same key to the sender. So if
Okay.
there's a hacker sitting in the middle of sender and receiver, he or she can steal the key for the encryption and decryption. But in the
Mm-hmm.
asymmetric encryption, we are using the same key for the, sorry, a different key for the private key, like for the encryption and decryption. Private key for the decryption and public key for the encryption. So if the sender is sending the message to the receiver, the sender will encrypt the message with the receiver's public key because it is public to everyone, and the receiver can only decrypt the message with its own private key. So this mechanism is more secure than the symmetric encryption. But we have
Just one question.
one.
So when the sender sends the data with the public key of the receiver, so if someone, I mean, anyone can, I mean, it's the key is public, so anyone in the middle can get it and decrypt it. Is it possible?
If there's someone sitting in the middle of the sender or receiver, so he or she
Yeah.
will get only the public key of the receiver, not the private key. And public key, with the help of public key, we only can encrypt data, not decrypt.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so that is why it is more secure than symmetric. We can only decrypt the data or the message with the private key only. So without private key, we cannot decrypt the data. So if the
Mm-hmm.
attacker is getting the receiver's public key or any other public key of any user, he or she
Yeah.
cannot do anything apart from encrypting the message, right? So he or she
Okay.
cannot decrypt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but again, for using the symmetric and asymmetric encryption, we have the benefits and the advantages. Sorry, advantages and disadvantages. So for the asymmetric key, we have the advantage is like it is faster, and disadvantage is like it is less secure. And same as with the symmetric, asymmetric, it is slower than the symmetric, but it is more secure than the
Mm-hmm.
symmetric. So
Okay.
for using, if let's say you need a fast communication and you need some less security, like if you are using data or transferring data that is
Mm-hmm.
less important or less confidential, then you can use symmetric. But if you are using data which is more confidential, then you can use asymmetric encryption.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we use encryption and asymmetric encryption in the network. Like whenever we are transferring data from one place to another. Basically, when the data in motion, like moving from one place to another.
Okay.
Encryption and decryption we mainly use when the data is in storage. Mainly is in storage. Okay, so after symmetric and asymmetric algorithms, we have one more concept, that is hashing. Now, what is hashing? Hashing is again converting data into any other form. Let's say we have a password, which is, let's say we have this password, which is 12345. So in the hashing, we are converting password into other format, which is the hash format. Hash format is like the combination of alphabets and numerics, like numbers. So
Okay.
here we are converting the password into very secure form that is known as hashing. We can we can convert password, we can convert any form of confidential data. Again, we use hashing while data is in storage. Now here, let's say we have some features of hashing.
Okay.
Let's say we have this small table. Let's say we have the database. In the database, we have a table with the passwords and with their hashes. Basically, in the databases, we have simply the username and passwords, not the
Okay.
actual password, the hashes of the password. For example, we have this username admin, root, password can be, let's say, any alphanumeric value. Let's say we can put anything for now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the hash of any password. Let's say the password, the actual password is password. And the
Mm-hmm.
actual password of this particular hash is, let's say, 12345. So let's say we have this user A and user B. User A is keeping the same password, let's say password, same as the user B is keeping the same password as password. So basically
Okay.
the hash of the password, the value password and the hash of this password, which is the password only, is the same hash. So basically the hash of A and the hash of B, that is GHI123. So that is the
Yeah.
same hash. So
Mm-hmm.
basically we can say the same hash is same value. We have the same hash.
Okay.
Also, or we can say for the same password, we have the same hashes. If we have this user C, and if the password of user C is 12345, so we have this hash only. Okay, this hash only. So basically,
Okay.
in the encryption and decryption are reversible process. Like we can reverse the process. For example, we have any plain text, and we are converting the plain text into the cipher text. So in the decryption, we can reverse the process. We can convert the cipher text back into the plain text. That is a reversible process. But hashing is a irreversible process. We cannot reverse the hashes. So it is a
Okay.
irreversible process. So in the hashes, we cannot reverse it, but we can crack the hashes. So how the hashes can crack? Let's say there's an attacker. Now the attacker creates a rainbow table.
Okay.
A rainbow table. And what is a rainbow table? Rainbow table is like a database only with the passwords and their hashes. So
Mm-hmm.
here in the rainbow table, we have the password at one column and their hashes at another. Let's say we have this password, admin, password, let's say 12345. And the hash of the admin, let's say it can be anything. And for the password, it can be anything. Let's say. So here, this is known as rainbow table. In the rainbow table, we have password correspond to its hashes. So let's say
Yeah.
if there's a user A and the password of, let's say the hash value, somehow the attacker
Yeah.
gets the hash value of user A. The username, which is, let's say, admin, and the hash value of the user A. Let's say the hash value of user A is GHI456, let's say. Now the attacker will match this value, which is the hash value, with this rainbow table hash value. If these values are matching, which means the password of user A is 12345. So this is how
Mm-hmm.
the cracking works. Cracking works on the basis of rainbow table only. We have the rainbow table and we have the hash of hash of any user, or we can say victim.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Yeah.
the attacker is getting the hashes of any user, so the attacker matches the hashes with the rainbow table. If the hashes matches, then that is the password, which is 12345. Let's say we
Okay.
have the user number B. The hash of the user number B is, let's say, this one. So this hash and this hash, they are matching, which means the password of user B is admin. So this is how this particular cracking works. That is why we always say that always keep your password lengthy with the small case, uppercase, and some special
Mm-hmm.
characters. Because
Mm-hmm.
if your password is strong enough, then that password will not contain inside the rainbow table. If your password is inside the rainbow table, then anyone can crack it. If your password is not in the rainbow table, then no one can crack it. So it is again like a 50-50 chances. It is
Mm-hmm.
like another form of brute force attack. If the password and their hashes are there in the rainbow table, then attacker can crack any of the hashes. But if the
Mm-hmm.
password and hashes are not present, if your password are quite strong, let's say your password is the combination of numbers and this one. Let's say this one is a password. So it is like a combination of character, uppercase,
Mm-hmm.
lowercase, and numbers. Now this
Mm-hmm.
password is a strong password. We can say that. If this
Okay.
password is inside the rainbow table, then the attacker can crack it. If the password is not inside the rainbow table, the attacker cannot crack it. So basically, whenever the attacker hack any database, any company's database, or like it is a kind of a data breach, so the attacker gets the hash values of the password, not the actual password. Then with the hash value, the attacker matches the hashes with these values. If the hashes matches, then that is the password. The corresponding column is the password. Otherwise, if your password is strong, then you will not get cracked. It is like your password is not in the hash table, which means the attacker cannot crack your password because your password is quite strong.
So
So
if the
that is like
password
how
is strong,
cracking works.
yeah, if the password is strong, then it will not be in the rainbow table. Is it like that?
Sorry, can you
So I
repeat
mean,
it?
if the password is very strong, then it will not be in the rainbow table. Is it like that?
Yes, yes. If the password is very strong, then that is not present in the rainbow table.
Okay.
Again, it depends on the attacker. Let's say the attacker is your neighborhood, and that particular neighbor collects your information. Like, let's say I am your neighbor, and I collect information about your family member's name, your pet name, your company name, etc. And you are the
Yeah.
person who names after these names only. Like, for example, your office password is, let's say, after your name.
Yeah.
Let's say this one, like this one. This one is a password. So now I can keep this password. First, I will generate the hash of this password. That I will tell you how we can generate the hash of this value. After generating the hash of this value, I can keep this inside my rainbow table. Now your
Okay.
password is inside the rainbow table. So I can
Yeah.
crack it very easily. Right. But
Mhm.
if your password is quite strong, like not to matching with any name, it is like quite random, like random
Yeah.
values, random numbers, then no one can
Mhm.
crack it. Right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that is why we say that to always keep your password as random as possible with the combination of alphabets like uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters.
Mhm.
But here, let's say we have many users, like many users who keep their password very similar to the rainbow table. Let's say in the rainbow table, we have this, we have the password here and we have the hashes here. Let's say we have this user A, user B, and user C. We have another concept of hashing, which is known as salting. Salting is like another protection mechanism we can use for protecting our passwords. Salting is like comes with the algorithms. How this hashing works, why hashing is reversible? Hashing is reversible because hashing use algorithms to convert the passwords into hash format. For example, we have this MD5 algorithm. MD5 like message digest. So this
Yeah.
MD5 algorithm runs 5 times and algorithms are irreversible. Like we cannot reverse the algorithm. So that is
Mhm.
why we cannot reverse the hashes because hashing use algorithm to convert your password into hash format. So let's say
Yeah.
if we are talking about MD5 algorithm, so MD5 will convert your password into multiple hashes until the final hash. And then we have this final hash, then we can reverse the final hash into the previous hashes. That is why the hashes are irreversible. Okay, so
Mhm.
hashing uses algorithm. In the algorithms, we have another concept which is salting. Salting is like adding a random value before your hash. For example, let's say we have this password admin.
Yeah.
Let's say the hash of your password is, let's say we can take a simple hash.
Mhm.
Okay, for an example. So we have this password admin and here we have this hash. Now sorting is like adding another random characters before your hash. Let's say I am adding some random characters. So this is my random character. So this is known as salt. And this is your actual hash. So this is your final hash.
Okay.
Now let's say we have this user A, and the password of user A is admin. The
Mhm.
password of user B is also admin. The password of user C is also admin, let's say. Okay.
Okay.
Now the user A, user B, they both are using the hashes without salting. Okay, without
Okay.
salting.
Yeah.
Which means the hashes of user A and B will match, which means the hash of user A and B will be A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Let's say. But user
Yeah.
C here is using salting, which means the hash of user C is this one. Let's say.
Okay.
Now this hash overall and this hash, they are different, which means the values are also different because there's a saying in the hash. Let's say we have the hash ABC. If you are adding a single character, a character can be a dot, a character can be a space, a character can be anything. If you are adding a single character in your password or in your hash, the entire value will be changed. Which means here we are this original hash, but here we are adding the salting here, which means the value of this entire hash is now changed. If you convert this hashing, if you try to crack it with the help of this password admin, this will not able to crack because the actual hash of the admin is this one. But here we are adding the salting here, which is some random values. Let's say there's a user D. The user D is also using salting with the same password admin. So the salting will be different here. Let's say now the salting will be this one. And then we have this password 123. So this is salting. Salting is like adding some random characters in your hash so that your hash becomes unrecognizable. So that no one can crack it. Even if your passwords are same as other users. So we use salting for protecting the passwords if the passwords are same as other users. But salting is like a very, high cost resource. It takes very high time for converting your hash into the salt format, and the process takes time. Like you need high resources for that, like resources in the sense of time and high computational power. That is why many users or many algorithms uses simple hashing. Very few uses salting. Okay. So that is like a whole concept of hashing, which is we use in the storage whenever we are storing the passwords in the database, in the hard disk, maybe in the cloud, and so on. We can convert hash to anything. For example, let me show you an example. For example, let's say we have this lab here, which is encrypt the information using various cryptography tools. Calculate one-way hashes because hashes are only one way. It is not bidirectional, it is only one way. We cannot reverse the hashes. One way hashes using hash calci. Hash calci is a hash calculator where you can put a value like your password and this will convert your hashes. So this is for Windows. We can simply install it. We can search for hash calci down. Or you can also visit this particular link for downloading the hash calci. These are all verified. This is not working. Okay, we can use this one resource. See, it is like a virus, so it contains virus. So what we can do, we can soft on is always it always contain virus. So never download any software with a soft on it. What we can do, we can use any other resource. And before installing any file, make sure to check on virus total because the official link is not working. So First, we can unzip hash Kelsey, and then we can check for virus. So we have the setup.exe. So we can run this setup on virus tutor to confirm if it is a virus or if it contains virus or not.
Okay, well started.
Yeah, it is virus free. Okay, so
Okay.
you can download from here. Let me modify the.
Mhm.
Okay, so we can simply launch it. And here, now this is a platform where like here we can put any data. Even we can put the file hashes. We can also generate file hashes. Here you can
Okay.
click on this data format. And here we have this option of test string hash or sorry hex or file. So we can click on test. Let's say my password. Let's say I'm just using 12345 as a password. And here we have this option of what kind of algorithm you want to use for generating the hash. So we have many algorithms like MD5, MD4. MD5 and MD4 are vulnerable now. We can use SHA-256. It is like more powerful than any other algorithm. We can use SHA-256 and SHA-512. Or you can choose any other algorithm if you want. Okay, mainly SHA-256, 512 is more powerful. And here we can
Okay.
click on calculate. So these are the hashes. Now you can see hashes are different as per the algorithms. So let's say we can copy SHA-256 hash. Okay, so this is my password hash. Now this is irreversible. Like we cannot convert this hash back into the password. That is not possible. But we can crack
Okay.
it with the help of rainbow table. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
can create your own rainbow table or you can download a rainbow table from the internet. Or we
No.
can use some like cracking applications like Hydra or John the Ripper or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Hashcat or John the Ripper. So
Okay.
they contains their own rainbow table for cracking the password. Okay, that's the easy.
Mhm.
So here we have this password, or we can say the hash of this particular password 12345. See, if you are
Okay.
adding a single character into your hash, let's say I'm adding 6 here after 5. So the entire hash is now changed. So that is why hashes are so sensitive. If you are adding anything, if you are removing anything, the entire value of that hash will be changed. So that is why we
Okay.
always have to careful while using the hashes. With the
Mm-hmm.
help of hashes, we can also confirm the integrity of the file.
Okay.
Integrity is like we are checking if no one can modify the file. Like we are ensuring that no one can modify the file. How we can check it? Let's say we have this file.txt. Okay, so here we can simply create a file. Let's say file.txt.
Yeah.
In this file, we can write anything. Let's say hello world, and
Mm-hmm.
we can save it. Now, what we can do for checking the integrity of this file, first we will generate the hash of this file. So here in the hash Kelsey, we can click on file, click on these three dots, and here we can click on file.txt.
Mm-hmm.
And here we can generate, let's say MD5 hash and click on calculate. So
Yeah.
this is the MD5 hash of the file.txt. So here I can paste it. So here I can
Mm-hmm.
put, this is before modification of the file. So this is MD5
Yeah.
hash. Now let's say I'm modifying this file. Let's say you are transmitting this file to someone. Let's say you are sharing this file, or let's say I'm
Yeah.
sharing this file to you. And let's say there's an attacker sitting in the middle of the sender and the receiver. And let's say the
Mm-hmm.
attacker modifies the file. Why only one character? Let's say the attacker modifies Even just if you're entering a dot here, the entire hash will be changed. If I save it and if I check this hash again, let's say I'm selecting this file and here we have to select file again, file.txt. This is after modification and here we can calculate. Now you can see if I copy the MD5 hash again, this is after modification.
Yeah.
Again, this is MD5 hash. Now you can see the hash. This hash and this hash, they are different, which means someone has modified your file in the middle of the network. Okay, so whenever you are sharing any file, let's say that is a very confidential file and you want to ensure the integrity, then you can share the file with the hash, with the MD5 hash. And then at the receiver end, the receiver can compare the hash. First, the receiver can generate the hash by its own, and then he or she can compare if this hash and this hash, if the previous hash sent by the sender and this hash which is generated by the receiver, if they are matching, then file is not modified. If they are not matching, then someone has modified file in the middle of the network. Okay, so with the help of hashes, we can also ensure the integrity. Is it clear?
Yeah, that is clear.
Okay. So we can generate any hash, like we can use MD5, MD4, SHA, SHA-256. Even the attacker can modify the hash in the middle. So what we can do, we can share the hash with some other channel and we can share the file with the other channel. So we can share the hashes or the file with different channels.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, hashes uses algorithm. That is why they are irreversible in nature. And we use hashing mainly in the storage purpose or while checking the file integrity.
Okay.
Then we have symmetric and asymmetric like encryption, or we have this encryption or decryption. They are reversible in nature. We can reverse the encrypted text, but we cannot reverse the hashes. But still we can crack the hash by using the rainbow table. Okay. Then we have the second application, which is calculate the MD5 hashes using MD5 calculator. So apart from this hash calc, we can use MD5 calculator for comparing the hashes and for generating the MD5 hashes only. So again, we can download it with the help of this URL. These applications are important for the examination.
Okay.
Like these are all simple to use, but these are important for the if you are like sitting for the examination. So here we can click on down. So here we can wait. So we have this MD5 calculator and we can install it. So MD5 calculator is again very simple to use. Here we can generate the hashes of the files. Like here we can add file. And here, let's say I want to generate hash of file.txt. And here you can click on calculate. So this is the MD5 hash of this one. Even you can compare hashes. For example, we have this value here, which is this one. Now this value and this value are different, but even you can compare. Let's say there's a slight difference. Like in place of 3, we have 2 here. Then how you can compare character by character? So that is why you can also use MD5 calculator for verifying the MD5 values. Here you can click on compare. You can see incorrect. 2 MD5 values are not equal. So we can also compare here and we can also add folder here and we can we can add folder and we can generate the hashes of every file in the folder, or we can add multiple files here. Again, it is very simple to use, but it is important for the examination. Okay, after MD5 hash, we have this one, which is calculate MD5 hashes using hash my files. So it is another application for generating the hashes. You can copy the URL and here we can paste it. Here we can click on download. Close. Okay, so it is a zip file. So we can simply extract the zip file. And after extracting, if we can check this file, this exe, if it is malicious or not. So here we can choose file. Basically, it is not malicious.
Okay.
Okay, and we can simply run this. So again, it is a very simple application. Here we can add files, and here we can generate multiple hashes. So here we can click on file, add files here. Let's say we can select the same file, .txt. So this is MD5 hash, SHA-1, CRC, and here we have other hash values.
Okay.
Okay, from here we can also check out which hash we want to use and which we can also remove it. From these options, we can untick if you want to remove any hash. Okay, so after hash my files, we have this one, perform file and test message encryption using CryptoForge. CryptoForge is another application for encrypting your file and generating some test. Now this is especially for encrypting, so you can download.
Okay.
And here we can click on this download button. Here we can click on next. And here we can search for. Now here you can see we have this CryptoForge. Now we cannot use this directly. Let's say we have this file. Let's say I want to encrypt this file. So I can right click here and click on show more options. And here you can see we have this option of encrypt. Okay, and I can click on this encrypt option. Now it is asking for what kind of password or what password you want to put. Let's say I'm putting password as 123456. You can put anything 123456 and click on OK.
Okay.
Now you can see no one can use this file. Okay, no one can use this file because it is now encrypted. And for decrypting this file, you need a password. Okay, let's say you want to share this file to any other user. So you can simply share it, and that person should have this CryptoForge in his or her system. Then only he or she can decrypt this particular file. Now this file is in my own system, and if I double click this file, this will decrypt easily without password because
Okay.
this is the system I have encrypted. If I double click on this one, you can see this is automatically decrypted without asking for the password. But if
Okay.
any other user try to open this file from any other account, they will not allow. Okay, because this is my same account. I have encrypted with the same account and I am decrypting with the same account. That is why it is not asking for the password. But if you are sharing it with someone else, or if anyone try to access this file without your permission or without any other account, like any other user account, then he or she will not able to open this file. Okay, so that is like the benefit of using CryptoForge. CryptoForge is not like such a powerful application. It is just for the examination purpose. Like anyone can decrypt without password also. So it is not secure enough, but it is important for the examination. Okay, you can right click, you can click on show more options, and here you can encrypt. And for the decryption, you can share it with anyone. And for if you are sharing with someone, he or she needs the password for decrypting, but we are in the same system. So if I double click, so this will automatically decrypt my file. Is it clear? Like how we
Yeah.
can use it?
Yeah, that's clear.
Then we have this perform file encryption using advanced encryption package. This one is like more powerful than this CryptoForge. So we can download this advanced encryption package. This is also for encrypting your files.
Okay.
We can click on this down. Okay, now we can search here for the advanced encryption package. We can click on open. Okay. See, my trial version is over. So, unlock full version. So what I can do, I can share a PDF. Okay, like how to use it. See, for the advanced encryption package, okay, when you click on search, and you can click on the start free 30 days trial. Okay, so and click on next. And here you can click on next. So, and click on finish. Now, this is the interface of the advanced encryption package. Okay, here you will get all your files, all your C drive files, your volume files, etc. And here you will get some options. From the encryption option, you can encrypt. From the decryption, you can decrypt. Here you can choose your password. Here you can choose your algorithm for your password. Okay, so here, let's say I want to encrypt this file. So here I am selecting this file, which is hash.txt. I want to encrypt this file. So I will select this file. Here, I can click on encrypt option. Okay, here, encrypt. When I click on encrypt, it will ask for the password. So you can put any password you want. Okay, after putting the password, you have to enter the algorithm. So here, these are the algorithms available. Like we have many algorithms like Blowfish, Jandal, Cast, and we have this other algorithm. This algorithm is mainly for encrypting a password. Okay, not encrypting a file, but encrypting a password, like generating a key for a password. Okay, so here you can like select any algorithm of your choice and click on encrypt now, this option. After selecting this algorithm, click on encrypt now. And when you see your file will be encrypted here. So this one is an original file, which is like original file, and this one is an encrypted file. Now, no one can open this file without the password, not even you. Okay, so whenever you are trying any tool for the encryption or decryption, try with a simple file, like some random file, not for on your important data. Okay, now for decrypting this file, you need the password. So you can again open the application, and here with this option of hash.txt, you can select file you want to decrypt. Here you have this option of decrypt. So you can select decrypt, apply the password, and click on decrypt now. Okay, you can apply a password and click on decrypt. So this will decrypt your file. So this is again for encrypting and decrypting your files. So if you want security, like if you want to encrypt any file in your system, in your office system, then you can use this advanced encryption package. This is more secure than the CryptoForge. CryptoForge is like you can easily crack it even. but advanced encryption package is advanced than CryptoForge. So if you want to use for the real-time scenario, then you can use advanced encryption package. Okay, for
Okay.
encrypting and decrypting of files. But again, it is not free. It is available for 30 days. So if you want the key for this application, you can ping me on WhatsApp. Okay, I will share the key for cracking the license. Is it clear? Then next we have this BC test encoder.
Yeah.
So this is same as advanced encryption package. So you can simply visit the URL, which is you can visit this particular URL and you can click on download here. After downloading, you will get this particular interface, which is here. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the interface of BC test encoder. Here you can encode your password. For example, let's say I want to encode any password. Let's say you want to share me the test message, a paragraph, a whole book. Then you can encode your like entire source code. You can encode your password. You can encode anything here. Let's say I want to encode here hello world, or you can write anything. Let's say you can write here. This is important. Message. Let me zoom in. Okay. And here you can click on this encode here. Now it is asking for the password. So you can again keep any password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In my case, you can keep anything as a password. Okay. Here you can keep 7 as well. 7, 8, 9. So this is encoding your message. Now you can see your encoded format. So this one is an encoded message. Okay, now you can share it with anyone and they will decode this message with the help of this application and by using the password. Let's say I want to decode this message. So I can again click on this decode. It will ask for me the password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and click on OK. And here you can see and here you can see this is my message, which is this is important message. So this one is for encoding and decoding like your if let's say you are creating any malware for the Windows and you want to bypass the security of that of the Windows security. So you can use this application for encoding your source code and then you can use this source code in that particular malware. So you can also encode your malwares, you can also encode your passwords, you can also encode your test messages which you want to share. And if you want to decode or if anyone want to decode, they will need a password, okay, which is set by you. So that is like how powerful this BC test encoder is. Okay, so you can also use this one in the real life scenarios. After this, we have to perform the email encryption. Let's say you want to perform the email encryption or you want to share the emails with the help of the digital signatures and you want to share the mail securely. Then you can use this service which is known as RMail. Okay, RMail is not free to use. You can use for 1 time or 2 times for free. Then they will ask you to pay for it, but you can ignore it. Okay, it is important for the examination. Apart from the RMail, you can also use these services. But RMail is like quite popular. Now, how to use RMail? There's a website of the RMail, which is okay, this is the website you can use, which is rmail.com.
Yeah.
And here you can create your account. First, apply the email address, click on submit. Then they will ask you to sign up. So you can simply fill your details and click on sign up. Okay, and they will send some verification, like activation link. Then you can click on, you can just visit your link and activate your account. Okay, then you can log in. After login, they will provide you a dashboard. First, they will ask you what kind of, like, why are you using this Armail? Then you can just click on for the personal use and click on next. Okay, and then you can fill some form here and click on submit. So this is a dashboard. So what kind of service you want to use? You want to install the Gmail app. You want to quickly encrypt your mail and send it, or you want to sign it. So you can click on this send now, this quick send secure. So when you click on this send now, this will show you this particular interface. Here you can apply your form mail, your to, your CC if you have any, your subject and your message here. Okay, and here you can click on some options here, which is here you can see. You can also click on this website or email sign. You can sign your email for performing the non-reputation. Non-reputation is ensuring that the sender really sends the message. So if you want to ensure that the non-reputation, then you can also use signing your mail. Then here you can see we have this encryption option, which is transmission auto decrypt for receiver. So this will also auto decrypt for the receiver, or you can also set a password for the receiver. Okay, if you want, you can also set up the password. Okay, so here, after filling up details, you can click on send mail. You have the option here, which is you can also attach some files, and here you can see send registered. And when you click on the send registered, it will show you a receipt. Okay, this is the first time you are using mail, and click for more information. But at the receiver side, there is like a option of view and sign document. Like now here you can sign document. Here you can click on view and sign document, and they will ask you to sign, like e-sign your document. So here you can click on continue, and this will tell you how you can sign your mail and click on continue. Okay, here you can click on this option, which is sign. This option here. You can click on sign here, and you can just mention your name or whatever. You can apply your signatures here and click on done here. And then here it will ask you to paste your signature, and it will provide your authentication ID here. This authentication ID is main here. This will verify that the receiver really receives the message. So when you click on apply your Armail here with the authentication ID, so this authentication ID will automatically generate if you apply your email. And then you can click on this next here. After this next, this will sign your document also. This is like external signing, and this is internal signing.
Okay.
And click on click to sign. And when you click on sign here, you will get a receipt here that this particular person has signed your mail. And you will get other information like message ID and some authentication ID as well. And at the receiver side, at the sender side, you will get an entire receipt for that. That this is the particular mail that has been signed, and the mail and other information.
Yeah.
So it is like a wonderful service if you want to use for your business or for the personal use. Okay, but again, it is not free to use. You can use for you can share some few mails. Then they will keep on calling you for purchasing the service. Okay. So it is like a simple, easy to use, user friendly, and wonderful service. It will help you to sign your mail. It will also help you to encrypt your mail with the password and without password and so on. Okay, apart from this service, you can also use these services. These are like optional, and these are like free to use. But our mail is it can come in the examination. Okay. When you just perform the disk encryption, like this is for encrypting your entire disk. So here we can use VeraCrypt. VeraCrypt is very important for the examination. It is like the tool which you always come in the examination. So it is for encrypting your entire disk. For example, let's say I have this disk here. This is my C volume, D volume, E volume. So these are known as disk here. So let's say you want to encrypt your entire disk so that no one can open your disk here. So you can perform this with the help of VRecrypt. Like whatever the contents, whatever the files and directories inside this disk, it will all encrypted.
Okay.
So how to use it? So again, it is very simple. So we can simply copy the URL and it is free to use. Okay, here we have this option of downloads and we can click on this exe install. Okay, and here we can simply install it. Okay, now we can simply use it. Now how to use? So we can simply open this VRecrypt. See, this is the interface of VRecrypt. Here we have these volumes. So what we can do, we have two options. First option is either we can encrypt these volumes, which are pre-existing, or we can create a new volume and we can encrypt it. So if you are using it for the first time, so try not to encrypt your main volumes because they may contain some important data. So if you forget any password of your of the disk, then that will cause any the problem. So that is why what we will do, we will create a newly fresh disk and then we will try to encrypt that particular disk. The same process you can follow with your pre-existing disk. So if after some time, if you gain some experience in the with the VRecrypt, then you can simply encrypt your main disk also. But for now, we will going to encrypt the newly created disk, which contains some not so important data. So what we can do here, we can click on create volume here first. So it will ask you for some options. So click on nest first. It is asking for standard VRecrypt volume. Click on nest. Now it is asking for where you want to keep your volume. So click on select file. And here we can, let's say, click on desktop here. Let's say file name would be my volume and click on save. This is my file name, my volume, and this is my location and click on next. And it is asking for what kind of algorithm you want to use. So you can select any algorithm. So I'm using AES algorithm and click on. You can also choose your hash algorithm and click on next. Now it is asking for the volume size. So here you can notice free space on drive number C is 91 GB, which means in my actual machine, I have space of 91 GB in my actual drive. So if you are creating a new drive here, so I'm creating a new disk here. Let's say I'm putting it at 1 GB. The size of the new disk, let's say if it is 1 GB. So 1 GB will be cut from this particular main drive. So the available space would be 90 GB if you are giving 1 GB to this particular drive. So make sure you have the appropriate space. And here, for now, we will put it a very minimum size. For example, I am putting it 10 MB only. You can also put 10 GB, 10 TB or 10 KBs, whatever. But make sure this will detect from this particular C drive. So it will like the VRecrypt will take the space from this C drive only. So for now, we are putting here is as a 10 MB, which is a very small size, and click on next. Now it is asking for the password. So we can put a strong password as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's say. And here we can click on next. Click on yes. Now it is asking for, we want to generate a random keys for the password. So it is asking for to move your mouse, like your mouse, within this window. Okay, so if I move, you can see randomness collected from mouse movements. So it is taking the mouse movements and creating a key for my password. So if you move your mouse randomly within this window, inside this window, like this
Okay.
one, then this
Mhm.
will fill this particular bar. Okay, and click
Oh.
on format. You can fill this entire bar by moving your mouse within this window. Okay, this will
Mm.
not work outside of a window. This will only work inside of the window. And click on
Mm.
format.
Okay.
And here you can see the VRAKit volume has been successfully created. Click on OK. And click on exit here. Here you can notice we have this my volume. So this is my new volume, my new disk. Now how to use it? Now if you want to use it, let's say if I want to keep any data inside this my volume. So what I can do, I can first select a character here. Let's say I'm selecting A here. A is a new
Yeah.
character here. See, here I have this character C, D, E. So these are my pre-existing characters. So you cannot choose any character which is already exist in your machine. So I will choose a new character, let's say A here. And
Yeah.
here you can click on select file and go to your desktop. And here select my volume. So this is my volume here. And here I can
Okay.
click on. Now there's an option of mount. So when you click on mount, you will see the difference. Here I have three drives, three
Yeah.
disk here. But when I click
Mhm.
on mount here, it is asking for the password. Password is 1234567 and click on OK.
Yeah.
So it is mounting. Now here you can notice we have another disk, local disk A here. And here you can even check the size, which is 10 MB. So this is another disk. So what I can do, I can move inside this disk. I can create some file here.
Yeah.
Let's say I can create any random file.txt.
Okay.
Okay, we can put any number of data here, any size of data here, but here the size is 10 MB only. So we can put on only 10 MB of size here, like data here. You can increase the size if you want, but here, let's say this file.txt is a very confidential file.
Yeah.
Now I want to encrypt this file again. Okay, so that no one can open this file. So what I can do, I have this option of dismount. So I will click on this and dismount. So when I
Okay.
click on this dismount, you will notice the disk is disappear from here. It is now disappeared. So we have
Yeah.
only three disks here, not
Mhm.
the A drive. So this A drive will disappear when you click on dismount. Let's say
Yeah.
you want to use again. So you can select any other character again. Let's say W here and click on select file, my volume and click on mount again. Password. Now here you can see we have this again W here, my new drive
Mhm.
with the same data which I've stored previously.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is the same data. You can also change your character every time you are mounting your disk here. Now you can create
Okay.
another file here. Let's say I'm creating another file 1.txt.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's say I want to again remove this disk from here so that no one can open it. So I can click on dismount all. Okay, if I check here, the disk has been disappeared. Again, if I
Mhm.
want to mount or I want to use my drive, I can select any character of my choice, click on select my file here and click on mount. Apply the password here, enter. And here you can notice we have this disk again. And if I open this one, I have my previous data, which I have previously saved. So no matter
Okay.
whatever is your character, your drive and your data will be safe here. And if you want to remove it so that no one can open it, so you can click on dismount.
Okay.
Okay, so this is like a benefit of using VeraCrypt, and it is such a very powerful application. Even no one can notice if there's a file in your or there's a new disk in your window or not. So it is a very
Mhm.
powerful application. And one more thing, it is free to use. Also, it is open source and also it is cross-platform. Like we can use in Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. So that is why it is very powerful. And that is why it is very important for the examination.
Oh, okay.
Okay, same as with this BitLocker. BitLocker is
Mhm.
same as VeraCrypt. So you can try it by yourself. Okay, you can download the BitLocker
Okay.
and can try to encrypt your disk, your volume.
Mhm.
Okay, try
Yeah.
to create your volume with the help of BitLocker and then
Yeah.
encrypt it.
Okay.
Then we have this perform the disk encryption using Robo's disk encryption. So Robo's is like another disk encryption application. So let me show you. So we can search for the Robo's disk encryption, free download. We can click on this Robo's website.
Yeah.
And here we have this, like it is available for 30 days only. You can simply click on download for 30 days. So my trial version is over. So let me show you the tutorial of it. Okay, you can click on download and then for the installation, you can click on next, and then install. After installing, now with the robots, we can do multiple operations. Like we can encrypt a folder, we can encrypt a disk, we can encrypt a file, even we can create backup, we can set up the authentication keys, even we can encrypt a USB drive. Let's say you have a pen drive which contains some important data. So you can also encrypt your entire USB drive. Okay, so it is again very powerful application, but it is not free to use. Okay, you can use for 1 month, then you have to purchase it. So here we can create a new disk first. Okay, create new disk. And for creating a new disk, it is same as VeraCrypt. We can specify a password.
Yeah.
Sorry, before password, you have to specify some parts here. First, the letter of your disk, you can keep it anything. The size of your disk, the file system you want to keep, and the algorithm you want to use, and the location you want to keep your disk. So you
Okay.
can put these information. It is same as VeraCrypt. Click on OK. Then specify your password and create disk. So when you open the disk, it will contain some folder. You can remove these folder. These are just some empty folders. Okay,
Yep.
inside this one disk, you can create some files. And here, you can click on disconnect from the disk. If you want to disconnect, you can click on disconnect. Like no one can open your encrypted disk. So when you click
Okay.
on disconnect, your disk will be removed or disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I'm creating a file and I'm putting this file inside my disk. After putting some data inside my disk, I'm clicking on disconnect. So this will disconnect my disk. Okay, if you want to enable it again, then this is the location of my file where my disk is located. So I can double click, and for after double clicking, I have to specify the password first. Then after specifying a password, you can use a encrypted disk.
Okay.
Okay, you can use it. You can do any number of operation. So it is same as VeraCrypt only. The difference is VeraCrypt is free to use and ROHS is not free to use. But with the help of ROHS, you can do multiple operations like encrypting a USB drive, encrypting your pen drive, or sorry, like set up the authentication keys and so on.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
Okay. ROHS is not important for the examination, but again, you can try it. Okay, even you can use it in your company or you can suggest someone in your company if they want to apply this disk encryption. Like it is like overall, it is useful for the real life scenario.
Okay.
Then we have this script analysis using various script analysis tools. So we can also check out the script analysis tool. It is like again free to use. So we can visit this URL and we can download the English version of this script analysis. So let's visit the URL. And here we can click on this English version.
Okay.
So again, it is free to use and it is very simple to use. Also, we can analyze some cryptographic algorithms with the help of cryptanalysis.
Yeah.
Here, we can add files, we can generate hashes, we can also add some test here. Let's say the test is hello world. Let's say
Okay.
I want to encrypt. Even we can sign the documents with the help of crypt tool. Here we can click on encrypt. Now, what kind of encryption you want to use? We can select classic or we can use modern. So here I will use this simple DES for now and click on DES. So again,
Yeah.
it will ask you for the key. So you can set up a key like numbers. Let's say I'm keeping this 112233445566. You can keep it any key you want. Okay, for now I'm putting this key and click on encrypt. Now you can see
Okay.
this is your encrypted test. If you want to
Mhm.
share it with someone, you can share it.
Okay.
And then same for the decryption. You can click on decryption here. Now you have to choose the same algorithm you have used for the encryption, which is DES in my case. And here we can put the key and click on decrypt. And this is a hello world as a test here. So with the help of
Mhm.
crypt analysis, we can generate the hashes, we can analyze hashes, and we can encrypt hashes. Maybe in the examination, the examiner can ask you about, like they can provide you some encrypted test and they will ask you to decrypt using crypt tool. They can ask you to get decrypt with the help of any other application like which we have discussed. They can also
Mhm.
provide you some hashes and they can ask you to uh, like uh, like crack those hashes, or they can ask you to like generate some hashes for the password for the file and form or perform some integrity. These kind of
Okay.
question you can face in the examination in terms
Okay.
of this edge.
Yeah.
Is it clear? Same as we have this alpha pillar. So alpha pillar is similar to the crypto. You can try it fine. Okay. Is it clear this
Okay.
much?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
Even we can use Linux for generating the hashes. Like
Mhm.
we have a command for the for generating the hashes. Let's say we have this file here. Let's say success.txt, and I want to generate the hash. Let's say MD5 sum, which is MD5 hash of the success.txt. So here you can see this is the MD5 hash of this particular file. Same as we can generate SHA-256 sum of same file success.txt. So this is SHA-256 hash of this particular file. You can notice SHA-256 hash is lengthier than the MD5 hash because SHA-256 uses powerful algorithm for generating the hashes as compared to MD5. Even
Mhm.
nowadays, no one uses MD5 because it is like somewhat vulnerable. So
Okay.
SHA-256, we can use SHA-512, we can use like SHA-512 sum, and we can
Okay.
mention the name of your file. Now you can see the
Mhm.
length of SHA-152, more lengthier than the SHA-256. Okay, so
Mhm.
it depends on the scenario. Even more the hashes, like the lengthier hashes takes more space than the shorter hashes. So it
Okay.
depends on various factors like your storage or converting the hashes, like you need more computational power. Here we are
Mhm.
just converting one file. Maybe you are converting or generating the hashes for 1,000 files, 1 lakh files, millions file. So you need higher computational power for that. So in that case, you can use MD5 in case of less resources. Okay, so it depends on the scenario.
Yep.
So we can use Linux also, or we can use these applications also. Is it clear? Any questions you want to ask from the cryptography?
No, that's fine so far.
Okay. Now we have this one more concept which is known as session hijacking. So can you tell me what is session hijacking? Like any thoughts?
Well, I mean, if we are logged on to, let's say, any banking or any browser session, someone can hijack it, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. So kind of session hijacking can be of hijacking the website, hijacking the server, hijacking the system. It depends on the device we are hijacking. But
Okay.
session hijacking overall, it is like a attack where the attacker hijack someone's session. For example, let's take a simple example.
Okay.
Let's say we have this particular user,
Mm-hmm.
let's say user A, and this is, let's say, the router. Okay, let's say the user is browsing any
Yeah.
website.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Facebook. Okay, and here, let's say in middle of the router, let's say the user A is transferring some data, receiving some data from the router. So this is a simple flow. Let's say outside we have some FB server. Okay, where the router is communicating with. So this is the simple flow. Now, what is session hijacking is, let's say there's an attacker sitting in the middle of the router and the attacker. Okay, which means for the user A, let's say this is the attacker. Let's say for the user A, this attacker is acting as a router. And for the router, the attacker is acting as a user A, which means the attacker is sitting in the middle of user A and router, which means the user A will think that attacker is a router. So the user will transfer all its data, the request, the responses to the user, to the attacker A only. Same as with the router will think that the attacker is user A. So the router will transfer all the data to user A, which means whatever the flow of data from A to router, it will flow from A to attacker to router, and from router to attacker to user. So this will be the flow of your data, and this process or this attack is known as man in the middle attack, MIT. So it is one way of hijacking someone's session. Let's say user is browsing any website, let's say any website. Let's say the user is entering some credentials like username or password. Okay, so if the user is putting the username and password, it is flowing from user attacker to router and from router to the user. So the attacker can able to see all the data of the user A, like the
Mm-hmm.
username, password, cookies, session IDs, everything. So the
Yeah.
attacker can able to see or capture the cookies of the user of any session, let's say any banking session,
Mm-hmm.
any username or password, anything
Yeah.
which can help to hijack the session. Even the
Mm-hmm.
user attacker can get any kind of data the user A is browsing on the internet because it is
Yeah.
flowing from attacker to the router. Same as
Mm-hmm.
whatever the response is coming from the outside for the user A, the router will transfer to the attacker first and then to the user A. So this is
Yeah.
like attacker is sitting in the middle of the user A and the router. And this process is known as MITM, which is man in the middle attack. So in this case, the user can capture the cookies. With the help of cookies, we can hijack the session without username or password. The attacker can also check out the username and password. The attacker can also check out the session IDs, session tokens, and so on. And that
Okay.
tokens, the attacker can use tokens, cookies, username, password to log in the user account. Let's say the
Yeah.
user A is using any banking website. Okay, let's say logging into any banking website or doing any kind of transactions. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a session created with the in the user A browser, let's say in that banking website with the help of any cookies or we can say any session tokens.
Yeah.
Now that session token is transferring from attacker to the user to router, and from router to the outside network or the internet. Same as with the response, whatever the response is coming from router to the attacker and from attacker to the user A. So the attacker can easily capture the session tokens and use that session token to log in the banking account of that particular user without even username or password or without any OTP. But the attacker can access the user banking details or banking or login in that account with the help of session tokens.
Okay.
Okay, so that is why this attack is very powerful. So here, what we can do, we will act as an attacker here. Okay, so let's take a scenario. This is my Windows machine as a user, or we can say as a victim. Here we have this home router. Okay, and here this is our Kali machine sitting in the middle of Windows and router, which means let's say the IP address of Windows is 192.168.1.4 and Kali IP is 192.168.1.3. Router IP is 192.168.1.1, which means the Kali Linux, which is the attacker here. Attacker will spoof the IP address of Windows and router both. So for the router, the attacker means the Kali Linux is Windows, and for the Windows, the Kali Linux is the router. So the data will flow from Windows to attacker to router and router to attacker to Windows like this. Okay, so we will create this scenario. And this scenario we will create with the help of EtherCAP. EtherCAP, we have this Hetty VF. Okay, in the Hetty, we will do the opposite. In the EtherCAP, the victim will be Windows.
Okay.
In the Hetty, the victim will be the Kali machine. In the EtherCAP, attacker will be the Kali machine. And in the Hetty, the attacker will be the Windows machine. So we will try in both scenario. One time Windows will be the victim, attacker is the Kali machine, and another time Kali machine is the victim, Windows the attacker machine. So we will see both. But what we can do, we cannot do this in the live class. We cannot do it right now because see, here we have this Windows machine. In the Windows machine, we are using Zoom application. Okay, we are in a meeting. Okay. And here, let's see if I make my Kali to sit in the middle of the router and the Windows, the flow of data will slow down. Because previously the flow of data from Windows to router, but now there's one more device, there's one more port, or we can say one more host sitting in the middle, which means the window data will first flow from Kali to the router and from router to the Windows. That is why this will decrease the flow of your data, which means your internet speed will slow down. So this is like a one indication you can identify if there's an attack in your network. Let's say you are browsing your internet and anyhow in a sudden moment your internet slows down. So this means there's a chance. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a connection problem also, but there's a chance that someone is sitting in the middle of you and your router. In that case, what you can do, you can run Wireshark to check it out. But for now, we cannot try this attack in the live machine because if I make my Kali to sit in the middle of the Windows and router, the Zoom application will exit. It will exit from this meeting. So that is why I cannot do this in the live class. What I will do, I will share recorded session of this particular attack. Okay, where I will show the attack of this EtherCAP and Hetty, how we can apply it. Okay, recorded session without Zoom meeting. That I will share it by tomorrow. Okay. Is it clear the whole mechanism?
The mechanism is clear.
Because if I use the EtherCAP in this class or in this right now, the flow of data will slow down. So my data will flow from Kali, and Kali is inside my Windows only. Right? Kali is not a different machine. Kali is another machine which is inside Windows only. But my Kali is on the bridge network. And what is this bridge network? In the bridge mode, we are making that, we are just assuming that Kali is a different machine inside a network, not inside any other machine. That is like a benefit of using bridge mode in the Kali Linux. We have this
Okay.
net and this bridge. If I show you here, in the network settings, we have this bridge here. Bridge means we are just making this Kali to act as an individual machine within the network, not as a machine inside any another machine. That is why I make this connection as a bridge mode. And then we have this net here. Net is like net mode is like the machine is inside another machine. So this means the Kali will use the same IP address or the similar IP address as the Windows machine that I don't want. That is why if I make my Kali to sit in the middle, somehow it is like actually we know that Kali is inside the Windows only. So that is like we are making this like communication more slow down, because first we are making the request from Windows, then it will go in the virtual machine. Inside virtual machine, it will go in the Kali. Then Kali will process it, capture the data, and then forward to the router. Okay, so that is why this will slow down the connection. So that's why I cannot show in the live class, but I will share the recorded session so that you can try it by your. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we have this hacking the web server. In the hacking web server, we have already seen like how we can hack the Cubeatrix machine, the Cubeatrix level 1, level 2, and Metasploitable machine. So I have one assignment for you.
Okay.
For today, what you can do, you can try this machine. This machine is a very complex and very interesting machine. If you search for Mr. Robot 1 half, okay, you can click on this first URL.
Okay.
And click on this mirror image. Okay, so download this machine. It is a OVA file. Okay, like you can simply download and add this file in your VMware. Like you can simply click on file and click on open. You can open that file. Okay, and make sure to keep your file, this Mr. Robot machine and this Kali machine on the bridge mode. And here you have this challenge. You have to find 3 flags here. Okay, you have to find all 3 flags, like keys here. And these are like these first flag is hidden inside website. Like you have to hack website. Then you have to hack the server where the website is hosted. And then you will find the third flag when you gain root access in the server. Okay, so you have 3 flags. You have to find 3 flags within this machine. And it is a very interesting machine, and it is not for the beginners. But now you can solve this machine because you know about everything, like you know the web security, you know the how you can hack servers, how you can gain access, how you can privilege, like gain the higher access, that you know. So try this machine by your own. Okay, otherwise tomorrow we will solve this machine also. It is a very interesting and kind of complex machine. Okay, like by solving this machine, you will get the idea like how the machine or how this server or website works in the real life scenario, like how to find the vulnerabilities, how to manage the vulnerabilities, how to connect the dots, and how to find or how to gain the higher access. Okay, it's like it is like a another kind of a exercise you can think of.
What will I need to
Try
find
to
out? What
solve
will
this.
I need to do here?
Sorry.
I mean, what I need to do here, it is not very clear to me. I mean, in the new Mr. Robot 1, the virtual machine. So
Yeah.
what will I need to do?
First, you can click on this download option. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you download it, you can just after downloading, open your VMware, this machine, click on file and click on open and select your over file. Okay, from the downloads, you can select your Mr. Robot and click on open. Once you click on open, open the settings of that file. Let's say this is my file. Open the settings of the Mr. Robot. Here, click on the network adapter, click on bridge mode. Make sure your Kali and your Mr. Robot both on the bridge mode and click on OK. and click on power on this machine. That's
Yeah.
it. Then power on
Okay.
your Kali machine. Then start finding the IP address of the machine. Start with the Nmap scan. Open the website. Find some vulnerabilities in the website. Try to hack the
Okay.
website. Once
Okay.
you find a single vulnerability in the website, you will get a
Mhm.
first flag. Means by
Okay.
hacking a website, you will get a first flag. Even not
Okay.
hacking, if you find a single vulnerability in the website, you will get a first flag. Then
Okay.
after finding the first flag, you have to hack a website. Like this is a WordPress website. So you have to hack a
Mm-hmm.
WordPress website. After hacking a WordPress website, you will gain access in the server as a normal user. So after gaining access as a normal user, you will get your second flag. And after the second flag, you will get your third flag when you gain higher access. That is like a
Mm-hmm.
flow of this machine. So you will have to find three flags here. Okay, and if you get stuck here, you can check out these walkthroughs. Okay, these are like all the walkthroughs. You can, if you stuck at some point, then you can check out these walkthroughs. They will like guide you like which step you have to follow next.
Okay, what happened here? I tried to download it, but my cafe and my antivirus program says that it contains virus and blocked it. So we'll have to use something else.
Okay, what you can do, you can keep it. This file is free to use, like virus
Yeah,
free.
yeah, but
It is like
my
virus.
it downloaded, but my antivirus software just disabled it. So I need to find another way. That's fine. I'll do it.
Okay, what you can do, you can just update your in your antivirus that this file is a safe file. So your
Okay.
antivirus will not block your this file. It is
Mhm.
like a safe file. Okay.
Okay.
This file contains some kind of codes. That is why your like some signatures. That is why your antivirus is saying it is malicious. Otherwise,
Okay.
it is not. It is a very simple file. Okay.
Okay.
So try to solve this machine. If you get any problem, you can ping me on WhatsApp also. Otherwise, we
Mhm.
will solve this machine tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
So let's continue tomorrow for now.
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
we are left with two more sessions only, like
Okay.
tomorrow and next session. So
Okay.
what you can do, you can revise your concepts. If you think
Mhm.
that if any concept you want to revise again, or if you have any
Mhm.
doubt in any machine or any module, then you can ask me tomorrow or day after, or in the next session. Make sure that
Okay.
you, or if you want to ask something apart from syllabus, like beyond syllabus, then you can also
Okay.
ask that, like some
Okay.
roadmap or some path or some like where to go after this CEH and so on. So you can ask freely. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Great. Thanks.
But make sure to take the revision of the entire syllabus. If anything is remaining and or if anything is not clear, then you can ask me in the next session.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go through it and see.
Okay, and yeah, I will share the recorded session. Try this machine. Okay, rest
Okay.
we will continue tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay then. Cool. Thank you. Bye.